And we are live.
Welcome back to Freeze Frame episode 53, the show where we stop to take a moment to discuss all the heavily talked about news of the week having to do with movies, TV, streaming, and pop culture. I am your host, James Walmer, brought to you by my co-host. Sorry, this isn't hierarchical like that. I'm not your host. We're
What?
both co-hosts
Oh my
here.
goodness, it doesn't matter.
Myself and the one and only Ryder Maldonado. Guys, give us a review and let us know what you think on audio platforms. That helps us out. Ryder, what's our status on audio platforms right now?
I'd say it's like about 80% completion. I think it's like you're remastering a car and you just need the tires. I mean, it looks good, but I don't know if it's rolling.
Great, got it. So if you don't know, we're trying to roll over to Podbean from Simplecast to get all of our podcasts distributed. So hopefully you guys are getting that as soon as possible. We're doing everything we can to work on it. Ryder, do you have anything to add about the situation?
Yeah, I'd say, wherever you listen to podcasts like Google and anywhere else, everywhere except Spotify is working right now. So I think Spotify is kind of a little up in the air, but once we finish Spotify, it'll be everywhere. So
sweet. Hop into Discord and stay up to date and join our community. Join our TikTok for quick updates on news and pop culture. And don't forget our Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget to check out Checkpoint. They got their episode. I said we have our Checkpoint going up. Just came out on Friday, so that's already up. Go check that out. We got a few clips out for that. I think we got a few TikToks out for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be posting those throughout the week. Stay tuned. But to jump into it, Ryder, start us off.
All right. Well, I guess getting into it, we got about one Marvel headline. Surprisingly, it's been a light week.
That is surprising.
If anything, DC was dominating this week with the Batman, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
So starting with Marvel, we have some news on Kraven the Hunter, a new Sony film that's coming. They got Alessandro Nivola casted as the main antagonist of the film. The character is a mystery, but pretty good actor. He was of course in Jurassic Park 3. He was recently in Many Saints of Newark. If you're unfamiliar with him. And then we also have Ariana DeBose, of course, riding off the heels of West Side Story. She's been cast as Calypso alongside Aaron Taylor Johnson, of course, Russell Crowe, and Fred Heckinger for the film. So it's looking
very cool.
Yeah, pretty cool so far.
Do you know who is there a protagonist in this movie? Like, is it
honestly
like Spider-Man or
it's what I would compare this exactly to Morbius. Like, I don't know what Morbius is, like, even though he is kind of a bad guy.
Is it
Kraven
Sony?
the Hunter. Yeah, this is Sony. This is the Spider-Man universe of Sony. So Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven, but Kraven's a villain, but he's the hero of his own film. So I don't know how that's gonna work.
I mean, he's still the villain.
He's the villain to Spider-Man, but I mean, like, he's probably gonna have an antagonist to his own person. Like, it is Alessandro Nivola's character, which is weird, right?
Okay.
Like,
oh yeah, that is interesting.
Like Morbius, Morbius.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
From DC, we have Robert Pattinson guesses that the Batman sequel will probably feature the Court of Owls. Ryder, did you watch the Twitter video of Paul Dano and Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz? And Paul Dano, this is when I leaned over to you when we were watching the Batman. I said, "Have you ever seen Paul Dano talk?" Because he's like, I just remember this is what like sparked the memory.
Mm-hmm.
Was he's in this interview? They're in this like white room, whatever, and they're just filming. He goes, "Oh, dude, Court of Owls is like the best one."
Dude, and he's like, "Oh, you need to read Court of Owls." And like, "Oh, Court of Owls is so good." And I was like, "Yes, they're like so into it. It's so cool."
Is that what this is about, or is that?
I think this comes from another interview that I got, I think, from comicbook.com, where Robert Pattinson's still talking about the film, and he, they're of course they're trying to get some sequel news from him, but at the moment they're just like, who knows what's gonna happen, but like, I guess he's hoping for Court of Owls, and I kind of want to ask you, but I'll save that question for later on, like, who you think would be a good villain for. I know we talked about it already, but Court of Owls sounds good because it goes into kind of the origin of Batman and like kind of the whole city's corrupt. But I feel like they kind of already did that. But I don't know, maybe they could do it.
It'll just be like it goes deeper, like it just keeps going deeper. The corruption just keeps going, and every time it's like, whoa! I thought they were behind it, but it was actually them.
It's always that. That's good. All right, now moving on to other studios. We got some pretty cool, interesting headlines that I saw this week. Free Guy 2, apparently their script is working, and they're about days away from getting the script done. The 20th Century Studio president says it's a fantastic story. So pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Did you see the first one? I don't know.
I did.
What did you think? It was all
For
right?
the most part, I thought it was enjoyable. I hated the ending.
Oh, really?
When she just gets like mad boost up, and it's just like,
oh yeah, Avengers,
3 seconds
Star
of
Wars, and
yeah, I hated that. I hated that part.
yeah, it was really 20th century being like, yeah, we own everything, or Disney being
It
like,
really
we own this, we own this, we own that. you know.
yeah, just in case you forgot, we actually own all of pop culture.
And Chris Evans was there. It was like, we own him too.
That's right. Chris Evans was there too.
What the
He said, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
That was, which I thought that was kind of funny. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I'd be down to see the
Next
second
up.
one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I
No, you're
jumped the
good. You're
gun.
good. No, I'm just closing out. That's it. You're good.
Cool. Jack Harlow will star in the White Man Can't Jump reboot, playing the role that Woody Harrelson made famous. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw
Is
that.
this his acting debut?
I believe it is. So two things with Jack
Yeah.
Harlow. One, he can hoop because I saw they were posting clips of him at like a celebrity all-star game, and he was there making threes, doing layups, and he was like, "Damn, this guy, he can play some ball," and so it was pretty cool. But then also, apparently in the audition, he got the role right there because of how charismatic he was, and that the casting directors loved him. So I was like, oh, that's. I mean, he seems like a charismatic guy in interviews, so maybe he could do good in a film like this and blow up more.
Have you seen White Man Can't Jump?
No, I've not seen the original. No, have you? Is it?
I haven't seen it either. I don't know what kind of movie it is.
It's an older film. Woody Harrelson, and he's it's kind of like a race film, I guess. Back then, and
Oh, cool.
it just he makes famous because it's a white guy playing basketball with other people. But
Yeah.
that's about. I don't know too much on it, but I'll look it up so that way I can know more.
Alright.
Will Smith, Michael B. Jordan, they're doing a I Am Legend sequel. Now, this was announced, I think, on Instagram. Will Smith posted a photo, and he tagged Michael B. Jordan. And so we're getting a sequel to this film, which I personally really like.
I can't wait. Dude, this has been like a long anticipated sequel that a lot of people have been
Right,
talking about for a long time. I remember people talking about this back in like 2008, 2010.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's surprising, though, that Will Smith's coming back because, spoilers, if you haven't seen it, skip 30 seconds. He died in the last one. He died in the last film, so I don't know how he's going to come back. But honestly, it was a death off screen. So, you know what they say, if you don't die on screen, you never
If
really
you don't
die.
if you don't see him die, they never die.
Exactly, yeah. But, oh, man, dude, I got to tell you, I Am Legend scarred me as a kid, dude. Those those creatures, man. I remember sleeping. I had nightmares for like a week, dude. And to this day, it still like haunts me. Like,
Do you do good with other zombie content?
oh yeah, I do definitely, and I don't know what it was about that film. I think it was just because I watched it with my mom, and we're in like a creepy house at the time, and I don't know. I remember waking up from a nightmare, and I was like frozen in my bed for like hours, and I just kept thinking about those creatures. It was awful. So
Wow.
I'm definitely ready for the second one to blow me away. It's all dark.
He said, "I want it again.
I want it
If I'm
again."
not leaving at the end of that movie, petrified in my sleep,
Yeah.
I want my money back."
That's awful. Yeah.
Ridley Scott is producing a new standalone Alien film from writer director Fede Alvarez. Did I pronounce that right?
I think I would say feed, but I mean I don't know. It's more
know.
Hispanic. Feed Alvarez. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. This comes from Hollywood Reported. Is that the news source?
Sorry, Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood
I actually
Reporter.
put a D instead of R.
Got it. According to sources, Olivares is a rabid fan of the franchise and casually pitched a take to Scott many years ago. The idea remained implanted in Scott's brain until late last year when he called Olivares out of the blue and asked him if he was still up for it. Olivares didn't have to be asked twice. 20th Century picked up the project purely off of the strength of Feed's pitch, said division president Steve Asbell, saying, quote, "It was just a really good story with a bunch of characters you haven't seen before," unquote.
Wow. Yeah, I'm for it. I think there's a lot of talk about this Alien film that they're like, yo, this director, he did I think Don't Breathe 2 he worked on as a co-director. And that one was, oh man, Don't Breathe 2 was like, dude, I don't know. It was all right. It was not good. I didn't have a good time with it.
What is Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe is a film star. Okay, so I don't know the name of the actor, but the guy from Avatar, you know, the bad guy from Avatar, the guy with the robot suit, the mech suit, the older kind of colonel. Yeah. So he stars as a blind guy in a house, and intruders come into the house and they try to rob him. But he's like this old military vet, and he's blind though. So he can't see anybody, but he can hear really well. And so they're trying to kind of escape the house with this guy trying to kill them because he's like, "Get out of my house." And he's like, "I see you, I hear you." And it's crazy.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah. So it's a horror film. But then they made a sequel, and the sequel just went off the rails. I don't know where it went, but you know, it's okay. But yeah, this director, I think that execution wise is pretty well. So let's see if they can get the story going, the script going, and we see a good Alien film, because Alien, man, one of my favorite horror franchises of all time.
Oh, we know.
Yeah,
Talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, but yeah,
No, ain't nothing wrong with that.
pretty cool, pretty exciting. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, Avatar 2. Avatar 2, probably, following the biggest film of all time, Avatar, is set on track, still on track.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Really, what beat it?
Well, because I think Endgame beat it, and then another movie beat it too.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I'm
swear to
talking
God.
domestically. I think I'm talking like overall. I think it's still, because they did a re-release in China, I thought, and it took it back. Check, because it's different for domestic. I think
Yeah,
domestic.
you're right. It is.
like,
You're right. Yeah,
okay.
it is Avatar.
Okay,
So-
interesting. But Avatar 2, who knows if this film could be? I doubt it is, but it's still going to be huge. It's still on track to release this year, assures the 20th Century Studios. When asked about how Disney will market the film, Steve Aspel, who's the head of 20th Century post-production, says, "I can tell you that there is no better marketing apparatus in the business than the one at Disney," which I don't doubt, of course. Disney's really good at marketing.
Yeah, they are.
They will do an incredible job reigniting that passion for the original film. This is not just a sequel, it's a saga. And it's a family saga. I know that's kind of a bold statement, but I mean, I feel it. It will
Said
be
another 6 to 8 years.
right. Take over Hollywood for the next decade.
Oh my
It will
God.
be compelling on its own, but it will also be extremely compelling to return to those characters and to see how they've evolved. It's less about Avatar being a really big movie and more about how Avatar was a really important cultural moment for audiences. I don't think it will be hard to convince people to come back. That's true. I mean,
Fair enough.
maybe you would agree with this. The sequel, it's like cool. It's been many, many years. We come back to it, but then to see like a third or a fourth, kind of probably a year after, I think it's gonna go on a downtrend, because I just don't think it. Kind of like Star Wars, right? How it's special since it has such a long time period. The second one is gonna be special because it's been many, many years, but I don't know about the third or the fourth.
I think if they have that big of a gap between them, I think that's enough time to garner the hype.
Yeah.
Granted that this one is any good. If this one's not going to be any good, I don't know if it'll garner that same hype.
Yeah, we could see maybe even a cancellation. Ooh, that would be nuts, right?
That'd be crazy.
I mean, they gave James Cameron so much like freedom, like do it, and then James, I'm sorry, it didn't do good.
James Cameron was at the bottom of the ocean for too long, I swear. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yep, got to his head, man. The pressure.
The pressure. Logan Ryder has scripted a third Hercule Poirot.
Hey, that's not too bad. Hercule Poirot, the detective.
Hercule Poirot
Yeah, it's like a
film
French
set
name.
in Venice, following Death on the Nile. Saying, quote, "It's a pretty daring shift in genre and tone," according to 20th Century Studios. I know some people who are big Poirot fans.
I hope that they keep doing it with it. I saw Death on the Nile. That was a lot better than Murder on the Orient Express.
Really?
I think it was a little better. Yeah, it definitely had a lot more.
I heard Gal Gadot was awful.
Yeah, I mean, Gal Gadot was, probably the most jarring actress in the entire film because of her performance. But definitely, I think that I go Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh is always the best parts of these films. His accent, his character, his acting. He's the best. So it's just always kind of nice to see what's the cast of slew of characters that they're going to introduce. But people are on the high of all these murder mysteries after Knives Out and then Murder on the Orient Express. You just keep them coming,
All right, sure. Everyone loves a good who done it.
Who done it? Yeah, and Venice, that could be a nice setting.
Great setting.
Hopefully, it's come sooner rather than later. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, update on a new Planet of the Apes film. I was shocked to see this. I didn't realize. I'm very satisfied with the trilogy that is Planet of the Apes. I think they did a great job with those. But there's Wes Ball apparently is coming with some new one. The script draft is expected very shortly, and the filming is planned for late summer, early fall. Interesting. I mean, have you seen the first three? Do you think we need another one? What do you
I
feel?
haven't seen any of them, and it's one of my biggest regrets.
You could still watch them on DVD because like they still hold up. They're great on TV. They're good.
Are they on any streaming service?
I would say maybe HBO Max, but
That's what I would think.
yeah. But it's definitely cool because I would say these almost connect to the original in a weird way. I don't know, like the very, very, very original, like early, I think 60s film or 70s film, probably 50s film. talking about. But
This
yeah.
movie came out in 2001.
Oh, you can no. There's a lot of remakes. There's a lot of
Oh,
remakes.
right. It's
first one was,
Dawn of the
like,
Planet of the Apes. There's
Dawn.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, there's so many.
Yeah, I think they did a
Dawn is
remake every like 5 years.
That was in 2014.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
in 2014.
That sounds about right.
I was like, there's no
Yeah, no
way
way.
it was that early.
That was like the weird
Um,
one.
All watch options. It's on Amazon. You have to buy it everywhere, but it's on Apple
Oh.
TV, Vudu, Amazon Prime Video, YouTube. Maybe it's on Vincent's Vudu.
Oh yeah, he
I'll
might.
check.
Yeah, he probably has
Vincent-
those.
Vincent's
I think he'll
on
love
Vudu.
those.
Yeah. All right.
That's what you guys-
Jason Momoa officially confirms he's playing the bad guy in Fast 10.
Yeah, I know it's short, but what do you think?
I need to throw this out here. I'm tired of Fast and Furious movies.
Dude, after that last one, it just went all off the rails. It went bonkers. It went wild. And I like the themes of family. I like how it's a fun film, but it just gets too crazy. It gets too crazy. You know, even it got to the point where even the actors were calling it out. They were like, yo, we're going to space and we're surviving. This is whack. And I'm like, yeah, it is. You're right, Tyrese. You're right, Tyrese. He was saying how crazy it was. And I was like, yeah, this is getting too much now. With the trucks and like planes and it's over the top. But hey, Jason Momoa, if he's like flamboyant, he said he was like the flamboyant bad guy.
Ooh.
Yo, let's see how he does. I mean, sure.
I love Jason Momoa.
100%. The Rock. Vin Diesel at the end is gonna be like, yo, Momoa, we're family, and then he's part of the family then too. And so it's gonna be Statham and John Cena and Momoa going against Charlize Theron. It's never gonna end.
Yep.
Never gonna end. What's something's coming now? I was gonna say what's not ending. That really failed. I really failed because I'm like, I don't know how that's ending. Biopics.
Wait, no, you got it. You said what's not ending
what's
is
not
the
ending?
production of
Hey!
the Madonna biopic.
You saved
There
me.
you go.
The production of the Madonna biopic. That's happening soon. And here are some of the actors in the running to play the iconic singer herself, the pop star. Florence Pugh, Julia Garner,
Okay.
Baby Rexha, the singer, and Alexa Demi, which, you know, is from Euphoria. So there's some, I mean, Florence Pugh. Julia Garner, I think, probably is the best out of these four. Looks the part,
so?
and she's like a really good actress. And dude, yeah, I mean, thinking of how Madonna acts, I would say Julia Garner is probably best to fit that role.
Okay.
I don't know. A lot of these, like with Florence Pugh, it'd be so jarring. Like they would have to do what they did for kind of maybe Rami, where you can't recognize them. Because I would just see Florence. I wouldn't see Madonna. But Julia Garner,
Yeah.
I have not seen her that much. That she could do Madonna, and I would say, oh wow, this actress is like so different. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. All right. I don't really have an opinion because I don't know any of these actresses very well. I mean, Baby Rexha
Baby
isn't
Rexha.
an actress, but I mean, I only know Florence Pugh
Mhm.
because I didn't watch enough of Ozark to see Julia
Oh,
Garner.
mhm. I saw some clips from it, and I watched a little bit of her, so kind of have an idea.
Who's Alexa? She's from Euphoria. You said.
Mhm. She plays Maddie.
Oh, she's
Plays
from Maddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
I only watched like 2 episodes of Euphoria.
Oh yeah. Was it too much? It's too much, right?
I
Or just-
liked it.
you like-
I'm
okay,
not
you
gonna
liked-
lie. I liked it.
Okay. Just no time,
Yeah.
right, to get to it.
Yeah. I mean, hour-long episodes every week. I can't keep up with
Yeah.
that.
Okay, that's cool.
Brad Pitt is just about staying alive in the first trailer for Bullet Train. I
Yeah.
have
So
no idea.
you have
anything
no
about
idea about this, dude. Bullet
No.
Train. Now I've been talking about Bullet Train for a long time on this show.
Really?
Like I'm talking like when we started together. Like Bullet
Really?
Train was hyped up as Brad Pitt going against all these assassins on a bullet train in Tokyo, and it's just it's like John Wick. It's literally like John Wick, and the trailer was so cool because it was with the song "Staying Alive," and man, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Joey King. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a huge cast, and they're all
Zazie
assassins.
Beetz?
Zazie Beetz, and also another actor from Eternals. Man, it's huge, and you got to see the trailer, dude, because it looks like John. It looks crazy. It's like John Wick, dude.
Okay.
Fantastic.
This could be really
Um,
fun.
Yeah, it looks very fun. Brad
Aaron
Pitt's
Taylor
definitely-
Johnson,
Mhm.
Sandra Bullock.
Oh, Sandra Bullock? Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock's on the IMDb page.
Oh shit! You know what? I bet I know who she is. She's the voice on the phone call. Okay. Never mind.
She plays Maria Beetle.
Okay. Interesting. Dang, this is crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. 20th Century Studios has been talking about updating for the next year. By 2023, they will be producing 10 plus films a year for streaming, only for streaming, and will release 2 to 3 movies theatrically. Now, this led me to think and to ask
God.
you, do you think in this future, or our future of our generation, we will see movies from theaters slowly stray away and of course push streaming, but also the movie theater experience be only for big event films and special? Like, do you think
Hmm.
that, or do you think it'll be
It
always?
might. It might.
I think we're seeing that.
I don't know though. I think it's a more like surefire way to get money for your films that's
Hmm.
not based on box office sales.
Hmm.
Because if you have people who are subscribing to your service, that's constant income.
Yeah,
I don't know how that would compare to a theatrical box office release in terms of profit.
that's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like, do more people buy the streaming service if there's a big film coming, or like how
Right.
does that, like, how are you making more money than tickets than seeing a film more than once, right? Like Spider-Man
Yeah.
or something. Like I
And
think like
that's my question for all of these studios who are like choosing to make their movies come out on like HBO Max
mm-hmm.
and like Apple TV Plus and et cetera, et cetera. Like, how does that? I'm really interested to know how that cost breakdown works
Yeah,
or that
absolutely.
profit breakdown.
Hmm. But yeah, I think these films, like big films, like not just comic book films, but I'm saying like Spider-Man or Batman, those are like, hey, let's go to the cinema, let's get dressed up, let's go. Where it's like, yeah, normal movies are just at home, which is kind of weird. I mean, I would like to see films at the theater constantly, even if they're empty, just by myself at a small local theater. But
Hmm.
I don't think that indie films or other films shouldn't get the support by theater. I think it's part of it.
Right. Right.
But it's definitely interesting. I think, shoot, by 2023, 2024, it'll be even way different than it is now. Who knows
Hmm.
where it'll go.
And I love indie theaters. Like,
Hmm.
they're back home. There's one called the
Oh yeah.
Grand Cinema, and they only like play like indie movies.
Oh, that's
Like,
cool. Hmm.
that's where I saw Macbeth, and they had like Red Rocket and like Licorice Pizza
Yeah.
and like Drive My Car
Hmm.
and all these like indie films that weren't like going to be have big theatrical releases, but
Hmm.
like very selective. And so I love small theaters like that will like put on indie films.
Yeah.
So I really hope they like if if movie theaters really start like closing, I
Hmm.
hope that indie ones will at least like stay in business.
Yeah. Absolutely. No,
You
you're
know?
right. You're right. Yeah. Local mom and pop shops. 100%. I'm with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm with it.
From Netflix, to start off our streaming news, John Cho reacts to Netflix's live action Cowboy Bebop getting canceled after one season, saying, I put a lot of my life into it and it was very shocking and I was bummed. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, John Cho, I was not very shocked and not very bummed when Cowboy Bebop did not do well because from the jump, I knew that, like, I know for a fact that no live action anime adaptations ever work out.
Yeah, it's just hard to
Ever.
do. It's hard to execute. It's hard to execute, and it's like, it's the wrong intention. I feel, well, not intention. I'm saying like execution. Execution. That's what I meant. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
feel
I mean, like, it might be, I might agree with you even on a point of wrong intention, too.
wrong. Okay,
Because
true. Yeah.
I don't know, I think creating that media for that specific avenue, there's no good, it's not like porting a game to a movie
Yeah.
in which there's like accessibility and like all of it, like, oh, I don't want to like actively, and they're much longer,
Hmm.
but like it's literally just making a show from a show. Like, there's no reason not to watch the animated
Hmm.
version.
Yeah.
Like, the best excuse I've heard all the time is, oh, I just can't get into animation. Like, so like get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
No. Yeah.
I
100%.
don't know
Yeah.
what your take is on it, but it doesn't make sense to me.
No, I think that animation, a lot of anime shows like Invincible or any great iconic anime should not be really done in live action because it's weird and it was made for that point because of the art style,
Right.
And if you're not into animation, I feel like they shouldn't have to make a live action for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's
Right.
like you appreciate the artwork in the making of what that is. That medium should stay
Right.
like that. I agree. Yeah, it's hard for me to get into animation though. It's really, really hard for me. I don't hate it. I know it's beautiful, and like there are some that I'm like really, really into. The stories are great, but I don't know. It's just a disconnect for me, but that's just how I am, and I don't say, oh, I want this live action. No, don't ruin
Right.
it. But
Right.
that's all my 2 cents on that. Okay, so Pamela Anderson. This is kind of huge. Pamela Anderson is coming out with a new Netflix documentary, and she will be telling her story in her own words. This is wild because this
Whoa.
comes following the Pam and Tommy show on Hulu, and then this was announced, I think, last week. On Netflix announced it. So pretty
Mm.
well. I wonder what the direction of this documentary is going to be, what the purpose
Uh-huh.
of it is. I mean, I know the purpose, but I'm saying what is going to come out? What does she want to say? You know what I mean? What does she want to give out and reveal? That's gonna be interesting.
Right. I'm unfamiliar with the Pamela Anderson story. I hate to admit.
I think because of how she was as an icon, very sexualized in
Oh,
TV,
sure.
that there's a lot of wrong intentions. Even with the show Pam and Tommy, I don't think she gave her blessing at all. But they
Mm,
still tried to make it in respect of her. But I think because there were some disconnects. I think there was like a male director working on it, that it still was portrayed a little wrong and wrong. I don't know how to the degree, because I don't know. I didn't watch it.
uh-huh.
But yeah, I think this is best because now Pamela Anderson can tell her own story and how she feels about pop culture and what kind of they did to her, whether or not she wanted to, because she wanted to be taken seriously, I think, as an actress, and they just really skewed it wrong for her, or something like that. But yeah, I'm
Mm,
interested to hear what she has to say, because there's a lot to her story for sure,
huh. Okay.
especially
Very
like
interesting.
Baywatch and stuff like that,
Right, right, right.
how it's been done.
When I looked her up, I just thought of Borat.
I haven't seen. Is there a clip with
You haven't
Borat
seen
doing some
Borat?
funny thing with her?
No,
No.
it's just like the whole point of the movie is he sees Pamela Anderson
Oh,
on Baywatch, I think, and so he like travels
that's
across the country trying to find Pamela Anderson.
oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, there you have it. It says it right
that's
there.
really funny.
Jeez.
Moving on to the next story, Karen Gillan, Pedro Pascal, Leslie Mann, Fred Armisen, Keegan Michael Key, David Duchovny, Iris Apatow maybe, and Maria Bakalova star in the first trailer for The Bubble, directed by Jude Judd
Mhm,
Apatow.
mhm. No, you're right. Yeah.
Apatow.
Apatow. Yeah. Judd Apatow.
Apato.
Apato. Apato. Yeah, so I saw the trailer for this film. So Netflix was doing some marketing for this one, and it looked interesting because I was like, what is this film? It looks like a cheesy action film, right?
Mhm.
So in the film, they're making a movie. And so it's
I
about
see.
some of them getting like COVID and getting diseases, and they have to
Oh
be
shit.
stuck in a bubble in a hotel. So it's a comedy about these
Ooh,
actors making a film. And so they
cool.
released a poster, they released a trailer, and it was like, what is this movie? And then it said April 1st. So I thought it was like a prank, like April Fool's Day prank.
Yeah.
But it's just they were advertising the movie in the movie, The Bubble. But it's an
Oh,
actual,
funny.
it looks funny as a comedy because like they're like on green screen sets and you see dinosaurs or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
since there's people mocapping the dinosaurs, you see people talking as the dinosaurs, like, "Hey, are we good to keep going on the show?" Or like, it's just funny. It's like,
Oh, that's
it's good.
funny.
Yeah, it's funny how they executed it, but yeah, it looks
Cool.
good.
Kind of looking forward to that.
hmm Something to pass the time on Netflix.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to Harley Quinn now. Well, HBO Max. I mean, HBO Max. Harley Quinn season 3 is on its way. This is one of my favorite shows. I love Harley Quinn.
I hear it's really good.
It is. It's great because it has all the iconic DC villains. It makes
Mhm.
fun of it, and I mean, the production behind Harley Quinn is great. All the team behind them is
Yeah.
the Kaylee Cuoco, I think, executive producer, and she's the
Yes.
voice of Harley. She's great.
Oh, I didn't know she executive produced it too.
Yeah, yeah. I think
No way.
the direction they're taking it in is chef's kiss. But
Very cool.
the audio mix is finished, and the season is set to release later this year. All for it. All
Very
ready
cool.
for it.
Man, with no word on Invincible season 2 yet,
Mhm.
unless nothing on the Amazon Prime part. Damn. Skid Sale.
Before we get to the next one, you can take over for this, and then like I'll get the second half, and then we'll kind of, you know what I mean? Is that cool?
Like we'll break in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll still,
Where I see the break.
what's that?
Where I see the break.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in that. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Sounds good. Next up, Matt Reeves says that one of the Batman spin-off series at HBO Max will focus on the Arkham Asylum. Very exciting. Colin Farrell talks. He says, "We have to get into what made him the man he is," Farrell recently told Entertainment Tonight. And also, it will pick up where this film finished off, I think. It'll pick up a little short time after the last frame of this film, he explained. will get to go on a little kind of left turn off to the world of Oz and how he's beginning to kind of dream of filling a potential power vacuum that may exist. End quote. This is the most like dialogical quote I ever heard. This has all of his manners.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you can feel like he still has the Oz in him. you know. For
Yeah,
sure.
he said, and also it will pick up. We're full finished off. I think it'll pick up a little short time after the flash from this film. We'll get to go on kind of like a left turn off to the left, off to the world of
The
Oz,
world
and
of
I think kind of
Oz.
like dream of filling this potential power vacuum that may
Hey,
exist.
take it easy, sweetheart. No,
No, that
that's
was
my favorite line.
no. My favorite line was when he said, all you gotta do is be come
Oh yeah,
on,
come on! What do you do? Yeah,
come
with the pics.
on.
Get these out of here. Yeah, so this is crazy because we know that there are multiple spin-off series in the works coming to HBO Max, and it's exciting to know that we get to kind of extend the universe and kind of fill the gap before the next film comes, right? So hopefully the next film comes. It's not confirmed, but I mean it's probably confirmed by everybody, even Robert
I
Pattinson himself.
mean.
Robert Pattinson himself at the theater was like, "We want to make a
Said, I
sequel."
want to make a second one.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's cool. I want more Oz. Colin Farrell was amazing as this guy, and it can only
very,
delve
very
into kind of what the world is. So we have another quote here from Matt Reeves talking. This is from comicbook.com. He says, "We're doing this Penguin series, and one of the great things is about Colin Farrell. He's like you've never seen him. He's so incredible, and he's a scene stealer. Along the way, we thought maybe we could do Oz as a series." Reeves told the Toronto Sun. So I talked to HBO Max and showed them Colin in the film and spoke to them about what this could be. And they said, let's do it. So we're doing that. And we're doing another series that connects to Arkham Asylum and the Arkham world. Now, this is exciting. I want to get your thoughts on this, but here we go. We're talking and thinking about the next movie. But to be honest with you, at the moment, I really want the audience to connect with this. And I really believe that they will because I think Rob is an incredible Batman. Oh, baby.
Yeah, he does.
How are you feeling about Arkham, dude?
I love Arkham. And I forgot that in the movie they go to Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, we
You
see
know.
the little teaser. Yeah.
We do. So we get like a little bit of it. There's just so many different like head nods you can do to introduce like just kind of like the way this universe interprets villains because I think they'll have like a really unique take on a lot of it.
hmm
I would love to see like I think this could finally be the cinematic universe that does Bane right.
Yeah.
Um,
yep.
or yeah, like with the Venom and everything.
hmm Well,
I don't know what they could do. They could do Zaz. They could do. I don't know who they would make a whole series around though.
but yeah, like I
You know?
wonder, like if Colin Farrell's Oz is Cobblepot trying to, if he's trying to kind of go to the highest point, which he is kind of the leader of Gotham for the mob area.
Sure.
What is the antagonist to him? Like who is he going against? Like maybe a Harvey Dent, try more of
Right.
like a political
Oh,
side, maybe like trying
yeah.
to stop
Okay.
him. And but yeah, I think if it's an Arkham series that they're doing besides this, they talked about the Arkham series was going to be with the GCPD, so maybe it's Gordon, trying like small cases like Victor Zsasz or like smaller DC villains, in the
Sure.
Arkham series, but we could still see like a Riddler, or we could still see like them
Yeah.
talking in the cells, maybe.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so definitely let us know who you would want to see in an Arkham series. But definitely lots coming for Batman. Stay tuned for HBO Max. Do you have anything else to close off on, or are you good?
I don't. I don't. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Colin Farrell as Penguin. That's all
Yeah,
I got.
absolutely. Well, thank you for watching. You can check out the full episode by becoming a member today on our channel and help support us here at Strictly Casual.
All right. First trailer for iCarly season 2 brings back Josh Peck, dropping April 8th. Josh Peck was never in iCarly.
No, yeah, I think so. I put brings back because I think the wording was like doing a joke, and I didn't want to steal someone's words. But anyway, so yeah, Josh Peck is just connected to iCarly in a funny way, just because of Drake and Josh. There's no connection. I don't think he was ever in iCarly, but I think
No.
I just put brings back because he's going back to Paramount and Nickelodeon, kind of the vibes there. But I'm just glad that
Sure.
we can kind of see them on screen together again once more after such a long time. The trailer looked funny. I like how they're so mature with it. It's so great. I don't know if you've seen any of the
I haven't
first.
seen any of it.
I watched it just to kind of hit that nostalgia feeling, and man, they even sometimes the language is funny because they do like curse a little. So it's a little funny to see them all
Did
mature.
or did it hit for you?
A little bit. It still has that Nickelodeon vibe. They still keep
Yeah.
that, but they're just like matured up. It's just like it's speaking to our generation, and that's what it's not trying to be like a kid theme at all. It's about like
Uh-huh.
relationships and like I have to take care like Freddie has a daughter now. You know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that, like very mature.
Oh shit! Yeah, wow.
And Carly's like talking about relationships and just it's just a more mature. They're adults. They're adults and they don't act like kids. That's what I like.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. I'm next. Sorry. Disney Plus. Now, Disney Plus is introducing a cheaper ad-supported subscription offering later this year. Finally, something for a little more accessible, I'd say. This will be starting in the US and will expand internationally in 2023. Yeah, that's good. I would say Disney Plus is already kind of mid on the price range.
Is it 10?
I believe it's 10, I think. Yeah, I'd say so. So it's not as high as like Netflix, but isn't as cheap as like Hulu or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's good. Hopefully cheaper. We'll just get cheaper. That's all we need.
Sure. Do you know how much cheaper?
Not sure. There's no pricing details yet. The article, it's still very early plans, but I'm sure it'll come out soon.
All right. I'll be looking forward to that. I probably still won't pick up Disney Plus, but
we ride off the coattails of someone else and use theirs.
I will.
Nice. Cool.
I absolutely will.
Sounds good.
Cal Penn has been cast in the Disney Plus Santa Claus sequel series. The series follows Scott Calvin as he searches for a Santa replacement on the brink of his 65th birthday. Who is Cal Penn?
You know this actor. This actor was in Harold and Kumar. He was in like the action movie, entertainment, like scary movies, all those spoof films. He used to be in those a lot.
No way.
Yeah, if you look up Cal Penn, you know this guy.
I know this guy.
Yeah, comedic actor, very comedic actor.
Yeah.
Good guy. But yeah, so Santa Claus. Oh man, that's something that isn't. I know Disney Plus is trying to fill out the roster, but I feel like what this is to me? Another Home Alone. It's a Home Alone. It's like that situation.
What do you mean?
Because you know how they did Home Alone again. You know that?
What?
On Disney Plus. They didn't bring back Macaulay Culkin. It was another kid, and they brought. They did like a whole other. They did a whole reboot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, they've been going on movies. They've gone 3, 4, Shut the Door. On these
yeah, this one just came out like last December.
Yeah,
it was like they're doing too much. No, but it's okay. Okay, anyways, yeah, Hulu now. I was so confused. Sorry, I'm losing my spot. Hulu now.
You're good.
Fresh. Now this is a movie, I believe, starring Sebastian Stan, and it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes at 80% with 125 reviews. So this is pretty crazy. So I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Fresh or heard about it, but it's about modern day romance, except there's a twist. This guy has a weird craving, and it's very freaky, and he's a weird like psychopath. But that's all I know from the trailers. That's all I kind of got from it. But it's modern love story, but it's a horror film psychologically.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks very. Sebastian Stan is that like he's going all out with this one. He's going wild, being a weirdo.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh. Atlanta gets an official season 3 trailer. Can't wait. I love Atlanta.
Baby.
I love Atlanta.
Really? I don't know if this is the last season. I believe it's their finale. I want to say. I don't know, but
I don't know.
What can you tell me about Atlanta in like a short kind of little summary?
It's very much like it's very kind of that same deadbeat humor as Dave almost.
Okay. Yeah.
Where it's just like the comedy
Those
isn't
vibes.
really jokes. It's just like interesting like situations that like the
Yeah.
people find themselves in that you
Mhm.
wouldn't expect. It's got Donald Glover.
Mhm.
It's got
It's
oh my god.
Dazzy Beats, I believe, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
I know it has a huge cast.
It does have a huge cast. Yep, Zazie Beetz, like Keith Stanfield,
Yeah,
Brian Terry
Keith.
Henry, Chris Davis, Cranton Johnson, Myra Lucretia Taylor, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Anyway, great cast.
Mhm.
It's great. Just like it's really it's funny, but it's not laugh out loud funny,
Mhm.
and I really like that.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to see some more footage on that because I don't know what the plot. I keep thinking of that the other FX show like Snowfall. I keep thinking of that one. I get confused.
Huh.
That's another one. I've seen
Never heard of
billboards of it and I get confused. Anyways, well, that's about it for all our news. It was a small, it was a light news week for sure, but definitely
It
some
was a light
interesting
news
stuff.
week on Checkpoint too.
Oh, okay. So hopefully more stuff comes. Let's see. I feel like it's a light time, March. Once we start hitting May, kind of the summer eras, I think summer is like huge for movies especially, but I don't know
Right.
about gaming. I feel like gaming is huge in the winter season, right? Winter season is like
No.
big.
No, I
When's the
mean,
big
no,
time?
no, no. So the announcement time is always in early summer,
True.
and then
True.
there's a drought for the rest of summer
Hmm.
until fall, because fall is kind of like the prime
Okay.
release time, like through fall through winter,
Hmm.
and then which is probably what you're thinking of winter,
Yeah, releases.
because a lot of games come out in like November, December,
A lot, dude, a
because
lot.
they want those holiday sales,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But
Okay.
but yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
spring for announcements, or sorry, summer for announcements.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Summer Games Fest is gonna be great. Yeah, hopefully
Yep.
we see, and then some big films. Hopefully, and then D23 comes in September. So once D23 happens, that is gonna be huge. There's gonna be so many reveals coming for Disney Plus,
Yep.
movies, lots of fun stuff. Anyway, sorry, I'm just kind of hyping up. Okay,
No,
well,
you're
let's get
good.
into our recommendations. Yeah, let's see. What'd you bring? What'd you bring for everyone today, James?
Today I brought Drive My Car, which I
Ooh.
haven't even seen yet. It's crazy, but I want to watch it really bad. I brought up the little IMDb page to
Mhm.
give a little bit of a synopsis, but it says after his wife's unexpected death, Yusuke Kafuku, that's probably closer. A renowned stage actor and director receives an offer to direct a production of Uncle Vanya in Hiroshima. There he begins to face the haunting mysteries his wife left behind. Apparently it's really long. Apparently
Mhm.
it's also like 3 hours, maybe like 2:45. Um, but I can't wait.
Yeah, no, yeah, I haven't
I
seen it
don't know
either,
much
but
else. Got a 91 meta score, 7.7 IMDb rating.
what
I
is
don't know
it
what it's Rotten
nominated
Tomatoes.
for? It's nominated, right, for you Academy Awards. Sorry.
Yes, it is. It's nominated for Best Picture.
This okay, wow. Shoot. So it's not ready for the
Yeah,
big one. Okay, that's
yeah.
great. I will say it is on HBO Max. I was on HBO
Yes,
Max
it's
last
on
night
HBO
and I
Max.
was like, yo, there it is. So I finally have to see it. I gotta see it
Yep.
too. Okay, excuse me. Sorry, I'm like dying here. Okay, my recommendation comes from HBO Max as well. This is Our Flag Means Death. Now, this is a new pirate comedy coming from the mind of Taika Waititi. This stars the comedic actor Rhys Darby, some other great people like Joel Fry, Matthew Maher, Fred Armisen, Leslie Jones, and it's a pretty stacked cast. It's a comedy about pirates, but this pirate
Okay.
is afraid of murder. He's afraid of violence,
Huh.
and so he's a very flamboyant, outlandish guy trying to be a pirate, with these other pirates. And yeah, he leads the ship, and it's just a comedy of like, pirates that don't fit the status quo when they're trying their best.
Yeah,
But it's Taika
that's
Waititi
fun.
comedy, so you'll get kind of the same vibes that you do from What We Do in the Shadows, that FX show about the vampires.
Yeah,
So it's like B for B, same thing. It's just
that's
different
really
setting.
fun.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was good to like pass my time last night. I enjoyed it. Episodes were
Okay,
30 minutes, not too bad.
cool,
Yeah,
cool,
that's
cool.
it. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our show. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know if you have any other news headlines you want us to talk about. You can hop on our Discord and drop them there. We're always talking about what we're playing, what we're talking about, all our updates on the channel. You can talk to us there. We also have social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everything that you can follow us, all our updates. If you need like 10 seconds or less, check out our TikTok because it'll give you fast updates.
Fast
and
updates, real quick.
and that's about it. But we'll see you guys next week. James, thanks for hopping on. You have anything else
Of
to
course.
close off?
Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week, everybody.
All right, bye, everyone.